Hi, today I am making the banana bread from the Healthy Food Made Easy cookery book. It's on page 70 of the cookery book. So I have all my ingredients here ready to go. I have 280 grams of self-raising flour. I have 200 grams of margarine, 140 grams of sugar, 110 grams of walnuts, 3 eggs, and I will be using a half a teaspoon of baking powder, nutmeg and cinnamon, and 3 ripe bananas. Right, let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is melt the margarine in my microwave. Right, then I'm going to put the bananas into my bowl. So I'm just going to mash up the bananas. And as you can see, they are really ripe. So that is my melted margarine. So one other thing that I want to do is just to chop up my walnuts. Some of them are small, but I have some quite big ones. I'm going to save 3 full ones to decorate the top, 3 whole ones, and the rest I'm going to chop up. So just a little bit too big. Okay, so that's everything ready to go. What I need to do is add all the dry ingredients into one bowl and the wet ingredients into another. But before I do that, I want to oil my tin. So I'm just going to use the butter, the melted butter with the pastry brush. Just give it a bit of a rub. You could do it with your fingers if you don't have a pastry brush. Just make sure it's all coated with a little bit of the melted margarine. And what you could also do is put in a little sprinkling of the flour. So a little bit of the flour, cover all the corners in at the bottom. And up the sides as well. That just gives it an extra layer of protection. So that is ready to go. I need to mix my dry ingredients. So I want half a teaspoon of baking powder. Sorry, that's not half a teaspoon. This is half a teaspoon of baking powder. Half a teaspoon of cinnamon. Smell. And half a teaspoon of nutmeg. Put my brown sugar in. Okay, now this is one thing that, little tip for you. If you are using very ripe bananas, which I am here, they're actually quite sweet. If you were to use these bananas or even slightly underripe, you would need the full 140 grams of sugar. But because my bananas are fully ripe, they are quite sweet, I'm actually not going to add all the sugar. So I will add most of it there. But just to keep my sugar content down, I'm going to hold back a little bit. And pop in the nuts. And that's all my dry ingredients. And just give that a little bit of a mix with your hands. So that's all my dry ingredients ready to go. Then I'm going to mix my wet ingredients. That's the melted margarine, the banana, and the eggs. and then put your dry ingredients in on top of your wet and mix them together. You just need to fold those in together. That's it. It's really well mixed. All I need to do now is pop it into my tin. This is a 2-pound loaf tin. Put your walnuts, just to decorate it across the centre. That's it. It looks good. It's ready to go into the oven. I have it on there at 180 degrees and I'm going to check it after about 40 minutes. The recipe says an hour, but it kind of tends to cook a little bit quicker than that in my oven. So I would suggest you check your bread after maybe 40 minutes or so, even 35 minutes. And you might need to just turn it around in the oven where it's getting more heat on one side. So we'll have a look in a while and see. So here it is, finished banana bread. It has been in the oven for 50 minutes and yeah, it's well cooked. So I'm just going to let it cool for a few minutes before I take it out of the tin. Okay, so this has been out for about 5 minutes. I am going to take it out of the tin just to let it cool. Right, I'm going to leave it on the wire rack to cool fully before I slice it, because it'll just fall apart if I try to slice it too soon.